Welcome back to the Vertu YouTube channel. It's an SUV today, but not just any SUV. It is the Kia Sportage, which is without doubt one of the most popular car today here in Britain. It's up there with the Nissan Qashqai. It's even up there with the Ford Kuga. But the subtle changes to this brand new Kia Sportage, are they going to make it better? Are they going to make it worse? Or is it going to be around about the same? Well, stick with us and we'll talk you through it. As the Kia has evolved over the years, they usually get it right. Let's cut back to some old shots. It's a nice looking car, and this is the nicest yet. Very subtle though, the differences, and you have to look quite hard from the outgoing model. So for a start, the headlights, they are a little bit different, a little bit bigger. Dare I say it, do we look like the Tucson? You've just seen one there. Does it look like the Tucson? Possibly a little bit. I think Kia have got the grille right and they've stuck with it. Or I'm just going to say something. From a distance, it looks nice and aggressive, but when you're up close, it's a little bit plasticky. But it looks nice, and that's the main thing. So headlight, grille, looking very, very nice. We've got a little extra air intake just there, but the front is looking a little bit like the EV3, the EV5 as well. That's the way we're going, so they've got to make it look a little bit more modern, but they've nailed the styling again, but it's a little bit of a tweak as opposed to a massive overhaul. We have got beefier side skirts down the side as well, which is nicer, and the alloys, very, very nice. They've got to have a nice alloy on an SUV nowadays, and we've got 17, 18, 19s, depending on the trim. Let's go around to the back. Okay, the outgoing model and this model, they're quite similar, aren't they? They're quite similar. They've not done too much with the back. However, we have got some different sort of design and graphic there on the rear lights. This is a GT line model, which we'll go into more on the inside, but it's a very, very nice looking car. That's what I can say about the Kia Sportage. Let's get inside because, yeah, you guessed it, it's winter. Inside the Kia Sportage, right, let's have a little look. What am I greeted with straight away? Well, the steering wheel. Now this is a GT line, this isn't the GT line S, so it's not the top of the range, but it's mid-range, and I'm straight away greeted with a very nice looking steering wheel. I've got the flat bottom, it's quite small, dare I say it, it's very similar to the Peugeot steering wheels, quite small, but I've got lots of visibility in here straight away. And the thing is about the steering wheel, I've got a couple little things. I've got buttons for a start. I haven't got the fancy buttons that you sort of have to like hover your hand over or anything like that. They're actual buttons, which works for me. I've also got my drive mode button here. They removed it from the center console to the steering wheel, so I flick through my drive modes via that. Is it better? I don't know, I quite like it. Right, steering wheel is done. Right, hard plastic test. Well, that's got a bit of squidge to it. This though, that's hard plastic on the dash. Usually, I've got the hard plastic over here and we've got squidge on the dash. Kia has swapped it round. I mean, I'm not too bothered because it is a very nice place to be. My steering wheel's distracting me and my massive screen is distracting me as well. We'll come on to the infotainment system. What they have done well in here though is this is no longer gloss black. The center console used to be like a gloss black material, which means it gets all grubby. No longer does it get grubby. My grubby hands are not going to ruin this. That is a better feature. So well done, Kia, on that. Also, we have a little bit of mood lighting along here, which is quite cool. I like that. And also these vents are kind of a little bit understated and a little bit hidden. We're getting fancy up here. I haven't got buttons for my climate control. I've got these little twisty nozzles here, but these are like, they're a bit fancy. They're not actual buttons, which I prefer actual buttons, but I can't really complain because it goes with the aesthetic and it is really, really nice. On to the screen. Now, this is a big infotainment system. We've got the screen here that is going to control all my infotainment system, my DAB radio, my sat-nav, all that sort of stuff, and I've got my lovely driver display as well. I really like that. It's a nice big long screen, similar to like what you would expect in the Mercedes and all that sort of stuff. It's excellent, and also what it is, very responsive. There's no lag when I'm flicking through. The buttons are nice and clear. It's very HD, doesn't look old. I've got a nice reverse camera that is extremely good, better than the Volvo XC40 that we had the other week, and that's considered probably a little bit more premium than this. So they do everything very well, Kia. Everything's quite well built in here. There's nothing that I feel is going to fall apart, and yeah, it is a very comfortable place. Now, talking of comfort, we've got to talk about the GT line seats. Now, as I mentioned, this is a sort of mid spec trim, but we've got half leather, half Alcantara, and we've got a little bit fancy with the steering wheel. We've got a little bit of white and black leather trim there, and that's gone through to the seats as well. We've got a little bit of a racing leather stripe going through the Alcantara seats, which I think is really nice. And obviously we've got GT line written there as well, and they hug you perfectly, so finding a nice driving position is really easy. So other than my little hard plastic on the dash, Kia have improved on the outgoing model on the inside, and you're going to spend a lot of time in this position. But have we got lots of storage up front here? Let's see. Right, okay, in terms of storage, I'm armed with 2 bottles and a wallet that's actually got some cash in. Got some cash in here, yeah? All right. Do you know how much? Yeah. All right. Okay, let's see how we get on. Right, we've got door bin, which is good for this. This is a massive wallet. Let's put that in there. You can tell it's not mine. That goes in there, but I tell you what, my bottle, oh, it does. It goes in there. Oh, it's a bit odd. It's a bit odd. There's a lot of hard plastic in there as well, so your keys and stuff are going to be rattling around. I have got space for a bottle, but am I being pedantic, or do I want my bottles to stand upright a little bit more? I don't know. Maybe I'm being silly. Right, there's a room in there for a bottle. It's fine. Get over it. Right, okay. Lots of room in the centre console here. But I'd say it's almost too much room, but they've got these little holders to hold my bottle. I mean, this is quite a small bottle, but it'd be great for a coffee cup. Great for a Costa coffee cup. Other brands are available. But yeah, a little bit of rattling around for my little bottles, but a massive space in there. I'll even put my big wallet, or the cameraman's big wallet. There we go. Get that for Christmas, did you? Right, okay, so there we go. That's all sorted. What we got in here? Does my bottle go in there? Oh, it does. And my big wallet. Fantastic. I've also got a little bit of a 12-volt point there as well. A little bit of power source. What else have I got here? I've got a glove box. How big is it? It's big enough for my bottles. It's big enough. And I've got another door bin there. Oh, wait a second, I've got this. Yes, mobile phone. Slots in there perfectly. It's not a charging pad, but I have got USB-C points there. So that's okay, I think. Oh, look at that. That gets a bit fancy. Look at this. Let's slow-mo this, shall we? Ooh. Yeah. I sounded like the wrestler, Macho Man Randy Savage. Ooh, yeah. But anyway, look at that. Ooh. Right, stop playing with it. Look, there's lots of storage. You're not going to be disappointed, even though this rattles around a little bit. Now, I said I'd mention those trim levels. What are they? There are 3 trim levels. We've got Pure, then we've got GT Line and GT Line S. Do you get the feeling that in the meeting someone come up with the idea of Pure and then another person entirely come up with the idea of GT Line? Pure, GT Line. That's, I don't know, maybe. But anyway, Pure will give you quite a lot actually. So don't think that you're negating on a lot of stuff when going for the entry-level model, the Pure model. You actually get adaptive cruise control, you get a lot of standard wireless Apple CarPlay and Android Auto as standard, and you just get a car that actually is very, very capable. So do not think that you've got to go for the big GT line or GT line S. However, if you do go GT line, you get heated seats up front and a heated steering wheel. And if you go for GT line S, the rear seats will be heated for you as well. And of course, you get the nice touchings of the GT line seats and all that sort of stuff. But it is considerably more expensive to go for the GT line S, so do consider your options. Why not go to Vertu and then maybe speak to their team and they'll talk you through it. Okay, so to the back we have the theme of the Alcantara and leather, and it's very, very comfortable. And as you can see, that's my driving position there. Look how much room I've got to the seat in front of me, and I've got a little bit of storage there for magazines. No one has a magazines, that's definitely an iPad or something like that. And I've also got a little bit of a door bin there. It's not very big, it literally has space for a bottle or maybe a Twix wrapper. I love a Twix. But yeah, it's very, very comfortable. Look at the headroom. The headroom is very good. Got a bit of privacy glass there. There's some hard plastic in places, but we'll forget about it. What else do we have? Right, okay, so we actually have the USB ports, USB-C ports, just there on the seat. Usually they're down here with the vents, but no, just there on the seat, which I quite like. There's a little bit of space there for a little bit more storage, and obviously I've got the vents there. Remember, this is the GT line model, not the GT line S, so you don't get the heated rear seats, but I've got a little hook here for coats and bits of clothing or whatever you need. I also have in the center console a little bit of an armrest, and I've got space there for 2 cups. So there we go, absolutely perfect. We've got Isofix points just here and here, and actually you don't have to put your whole hand into the seat to get them. Very, very accessible right there, so that's absolutely ideal. And I think the words as standard should go with this Kia Sportage, because the pure version or the GT line versions, you get reclinable seats, which is just a lever down here and you can put it up, you can go all the way back, which I think is a nice touch and isn't actually available on all SUVs. So Kia have stacked this car full of little gizmos like that as standard. You haven't got to pay the full price for the GT line S model, which I think is really, really good. So yeah, couldn't be happier in the back here. Very, very comfortable. Boot space, right, my favourite part. Being an old man, I love a boot, and it needs to have lots of space. Right, the Sportage does not disappoint. Let's talk about litres. This one is the 1.6 litre petrol, which means you get around about 562 litres. If you go for the hybrid option, you get less because of the big battery in there. That will be 542 litres, but if you go for the full plug-in hybrid, then you get even more, 587 litres, which is right up there with any of the SUVs. And also this has got a little bit more to it, because it has got some levels to it. We've got a little bit under floor storage there, but you can adjust the level of this to give you even more space. This is perfect, those nice flat load space. Look at that, you know I like a flat load space, but it can be adjusted to a little bit lower, just to give you a little bit more room. There we go, I did it. And what is more impressive, obviously we've got little bits like this. Make sure if you take it out you don't lose it in your garage, but what is more impressive is that you can let the seats down, which by the way, we've got a 40-20-40 split as standard. A lot of SUVs go for 60-40. This gives you that little bit of option. You can put the 20 down and you've got a little bit of through load space. Yes, plenty of options, but this little lever here, look what this does. Lets the seats down. Boom and boom. No faffing around, having to go around to the door and mess around with the top of the seat. Little levers. If every SUV can do this, I would be really, really grateful. Well done, Kia. Come on. As if by magic, I'm going on holiday, I wish. Right, okay, let's put some suitcases in a boot. Okay, there is a big one. Oh, I'm trying to do the puzzle. There we go, there's another one. And then there is a little one. lots and lots of room. Obviously, if we take this off, we've got even more room, but that is a lot of space in there. I don't know why it took me so long to do it, but there we go. The Kia Sportage has a great boot. So what is the Kia like to drive? Well, I'm expecting nothing else but smoothness and comfort. But let's talk about your options as a consumer. You have this one, which is the 1.6 litre petrol engine. Now this comes with a 7-speed auto gearbox that we've got here, or you can opt for the manual 6-speed manual option as well. Now there isn't such a thing as the mild hybrid anymore. That has gone. But they have a hybrid option which gives you a little bit more horsepower. This has got about 200 brake horsepower. That gives you around about 29 brake horsepower more, and then the plug-in hybrid gives you around about 42 brake horsepower more. So we're not talking groundbreaking amounts of power, but it gets off the 9 nicely when you're at a roundabout or you need to make a quick move in and around town. It's a really comfortable drive. What I would say about this Kia Sportage, it does have some drive modes. It has Eco, it has Normal, and it has Sport. When you flick here as a touch of a button into Sport mode, not a great deal happens. It's not the same as the Ford Kuga ST line that we had the other week, where it actually feels like a bit of a sports SUV when you put it into sport mode. A lot happens to that, everything stiffens up, and it is quite a lot of fun. However, this is fantastic for comfortable family driving. The visibility is fantastic. The screen, I've got some little windows here. Visibility out the back is excellent as well. I haven't got a small rear screen. It is very, very good. Driving position, as I mentioned, the seats hug you fantastically well, and finding a driving position is no problem at all either. The one thing I guess you would say, you'd expect an SUV that is so comfortable to be maybe a little bit more economical. This will get you around about 40-41 miles per gallon. Is that amazing? It's expected. Maybe the 1.6 petrol. I think the hybrid will get you around about 50, and then the plug-in probably a little bit more than that. Are we breaking ground with the miles per gallon there? Probably not. However, for comfort and that smooth drive, the Kia Sportage cannot be faulted. It is absolutely perfect. The steering is very, very light. I'm driving quite a big car, but is super, super responsive. And when you put your foot down, it does go. There's very little lag. It's just not going to set the world alight when we're talking about a sports SUV. They don't really exist, but I'm only comparing it to that Kuga. It's very similar to a Qashqai, very similar to a Tucson, and in fact, with the screen and all my touch-ins in here, I'd say I'm a very, very happy family man driving this Kia Sportage. A couple other bits. It will trick you into thinking you're in a sports SUV because I've got flappy paddles and I can actually change gear with them when I'm in sport mode. Other things when driving, the infotainment system is really easy to use. My map is massive on there. The screen is really HD and very, very easy to navigate around my DAB radio, and just talk about the driver assist. I can go there very, very easily and make adjustments as I go. But I genuinely think it's one of the easiest infotainment systems that we've had, considering some of the touchscreen ones are quite distracting. And if I don't have buttons, I'm usually a little bit worried. But this one gets a thumbs up. Okay, so I mentioned the reverse camera earlier. Now I'm going to reverse round here just to show you off this, because I've been really pleased with this. Now you think it's a given, an SUV in the modern era is going to have a really good reverse camera, but there we go, flick to that. I've got a little bit of a surround sensors there for me, helping me reverse around this corner, and I've got a real HD camera. Absolutely perfect. Now, it's not a given that all SUVs get a really HD quality camera, because as we saw with the Volvo, that was where it was lacking. And actually with a couple of the others, the capture is a little bit grainy, but this very, very good. And I think that is taken for granted a little bit in modern day SUVs. So there we have it. The Kia Sportage has proven once again why it is so popular with us British folk. It is right up there with the Nissan Qashqai. Is it as good a drive as the all-singing, all-dancing ST-line Kuga? Perhaps not, but it is a very, very capable SUV and very smooth on these UK country roads that we've flung it round today. Don't take my word for it though, get in touch with Vertu and drive one of these. You will not be disappointed. We will see you on the next one for another Vertu car.